Hello everyone and welcome to Harv's World for episode 4 of Ischia Farm. So, we are back in Italy. Well, we're still in Italy. Back, I don't know why would be back. We're still here working our grapes. We've got wheat in the ground and we've got trouble. Big trouble, and it's not my fault. I'm not taking the blame for it. Nope. I am gonna cut through this grass field, however. I need to get over to this other road. Anyway, so we've got that $2.5 million debt hanging over our heads. And the Van Horns did not fully let me know exactly what I was led to believe that there was essentially an accountant dealing with all of this stuff. Well, yeah, I guess technically that's the case, but we sold off those protein peas, as you'll recall. Oh, I want to cut through here. Maybe I didn't. Oh well, we'll get there. Anyway, we sold off those protein peas. And the bank didn't get its due. Now remember, I specifically said, yeah, I'm going to hang on to the money because we need to advance the farm. Well, the bank says otherwise. And I'll give you a little bit of a trivia on that just to let you know exactly what happened. So, and this is based on my own personal experience, my own private knowledge. So, when farmers plant crops, sometimes they'll go to a bank or another lending institution, agriculture specific or otherwise, and say, okay, I need some money to get this crop in, and I will use the crop as collateral. So they're going to use the crop as collateral and say, when I sell this crop, you'll get your money. Well, that's pretty much what had happened with the protein peas. And so we didn't pay them. And now they don't just want their portion of the protein peas, they want a full 10% of the loan paid off today. Like today, or they're just going to try to foreclose, and it's going to be ugly. So, we don't have $250,000, which is what will be required. And we need to make up the difference. So, as you can see, I've got a fleet of tractors. We've just run down to the store. And I've got people helping me out getting these down here. I'm going to cut them loose for a minute so I can get it all set up. But in order to make up the money, we need to scramble and do some contracts. That's the only help for it. That's not what I want. I want this tractor. It's the only thing we can do. Now, there's a big contract on this grass field right here. Field 30, that will pay us a whopping $22,000. But all of this grass has to be mowed. It has to be tedded. It's going to need to be windrowed. Man, that's a massive tedder. Wow, that's way more tedder than we really need. But we'll make do with what we have, right? Just like we always do. So anyhow, we need to get this mowed, baled, and the bales sold off. That's our goal for this, and it will pay us 22 grand. That will give us the $250,000 that we need to get this taken care of. So I've got my fleet of tractors here. Hopefully we'll be able to knock this out in reasonably short order. It is a very large grass field though, so we're gonna find out. So we'll get our tedder fired up. Get our mowers fired up. Drop everything down. Now I'm going to get this mower and tedder started up the field, and we're going to stop them right there. Now the Fiat should be able to handle this windrower, so we'll get that unfolded while we get into position. And sorry, whatever farmer you are, I'm borrowing your field to get straightened up here. Okay, we'll fire that bad boy up, drop it down, and tell them to follow. Like so. Very good. And we will grab our big fent. Unfold this baler. And I'm gonna bring the baler right in here also. Drop it down. And put this into follow mode also. Okay, now for the time being, I don't need the bale collector. I could get it working on this right now, but in all honesty, it would end up being more trouble than it's worth, so I think I'll just do that job separately. I am, however, going to park it out of the way over here, so I have quick and easy access to it when I need it. I will try not to park in the field. I'll try to get in the... Oh, there we go. Oh, that'll do. Alright, so let's get some mowing done. And I'll tell you a little bit more about agricultural finance as we go along. So, like I said, you know, a lot of times farmers will use a future crop to secure a loan. It's called a security agreement or a financing statement. And when they do that, the bank will file a document with the government, and anybody who buys crops is required by law to make themselves aware of any liens that are on those crops. Now, when you have a security agreement, you use a crop for collateral, that creates a lien on that crop. So these buyers have to know who has a lien. So when you go to sell your crop, the buyer, again, required by law to put the name of the lien holder on the check. So you can't even cash the check until you present it to the lien holder and they sign the check, and then you can sign the check also after that. That's how it works. Now, I'm sure with your lenders, depending on who they are and how reasonable they are, you could say, I need a little bit more time, you know, can you only take part of what I owe you from this check, whatever. But that's between you and the lender at that point. No guarantees that that works out for anybody the way you would necessarily want it to at all times. So with that said, that's the position we find ourselves in. Again, I was not informed about this, unfortunately, so now we've got to make up some money. And that's going to put us behind, because I have already made the decision, and thanks to several people who mentioned it, XFL Lover, Caveman, Matt, those three guys specifically said, yeah, go with pigs. Now, they've also recommended doing pigs and chickens, and I think that's probably a good decision. and I will most likely take their advice, but pigs are for sure. So that's my goal right now, and I've discussed that also with the Van Horns. They have no problems with that particular idea whatsoever. However, they have said that it does need to be a quality, humane, very nice operation. So, you know, no old buildings, nothing beat up. It's got to be kind of fancy. So that's going to throw a little bit of a wrench in the plan just because it's going to be more expensive. But you know what? We'll make it work out. We will work it out. No problem. Now I do still have all the sorghum in the silo. The sorghum is free of any liens. Nobody has claimed anything on that, at least, but the price keeps falling on it, so I haven't been able to sell it. And I probably won't be able to sell it for a while until that price comes up. So, I mean, that's going to give us a nice boost in cash, but at the same time, I don't know when. And I'm not just going to sell it off. Yeah, unless worst truly comes to worst and there's nothing I can do, then I'm not just going to go throw it away and lose a whole bunch of profit on it that I could have and use for something else, like my pigs, for example. And before I can get the pigs, I've got to get the land to put the pigs on. So this is going to be an expensive proposition. It's going to take some earnings. Luckily, there's plenty of work in the area, so I better let those other tractors catch up, otherwise they'll get confused. Even with follow me. But this is doing quite nicely, as you can see, just as we roll down. And let's just double check our contract. Dry it with the tedder, bale it, take the bales to the barn. Perfect. That's what we... Oh. That's what we need to do. There are going to be a lot of bales because this is one seriously big field. But one nice thing, there should be some surplus. And with the surplus, we should be able to make a little extra money on this contract. I'm kind of counting on it. And I am going to go back around the outer edge and clean up any weeds, anything that I can mow extra. And get another bale or 2 or 3 maybe. I'm definitely going to do that. Every blade of grass must come off of this field. Because old Harv needs the money. Badly. So yeah, we've run into that little financial hiccup, which is, it's really a big setback. But then again, you know, we've only been here a few days, and at least we got to a point where it's not going to absolutely kill us. We just need to do some work to catch up. So, and I am just gonna pick up the last little bit of grass here. I don't know why, because I can't make another bale. So I think that's gonna be it. That is completely gonna be it for the baling and grass mowing. Wow, that's being weird. Oh, it looks like I got some grass. Well, that's okay. We'll sell a grass bale too. Alright, let's get these tractors off the field, shall we? Time to start collecting or delivering these bales, I should say. Ooh, there's a lot of them. This is going to be a long haul to get these over to the barn. But that's alright. Because this contract is paying fairly well. I think we all know at this point that baling contracts aren't the easiest in the world, but we needed the influx of cash in a big, 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 really big way. Yes. How many bales did we end up with? Let's take a look and see if we can't find out. Oh, it's not going to tell us on this particular contract, so... Well, I think we'll know by the time we're done. It's got to be 60 or 70. And our little bale trailer is only going to haul 12 at a time, so this is going to be a lot of trips back and forth. And yeah, I'm going to borrow this guy's field. So sorry. Get this vent out of the way, shut it down. Let's start picking up bales. And they are scattered all over creation too. I've pushed them around, shoved them around. Yeah. And in traditional Harv fashion, driving is not going to be my strong suit today. Okay, so unless I miss my guess, we should be dropping our bales right here. And let's see how this works out. Now, where are we on our contract at the moment? We are at 20%. So I'm interested to see exactly how many bales we have left over. Okay, so that should put us, that's at 33%. Time to go grab some more bales. At least we can get 16 at a time. That does make a big difference. As I take out the olive trees. There we go. Put that away. I wonder if there's any shortcuts I can take. Hopefully not through the people. And as promised, here we are again. I've got another load of bales. Man, that was a lot. How many was that? 16 times 4, 40, 60. Oh, it was well over 100. Well over 100 bales on that field. And yeah, and there's still a few more back there. Now we are at 98% on this contract. So I'm going to get these over here right quickly, go back and grab the last. Now most of these should be profit. I think maybe four more and the contract will complete. We'll finish that up. Grab the money. Go get the last of the bales. And be done. And hopefully, yeah, it's 2:30 in the afternoon now. Wow. That was a long day's work. I knew it was going to be a big job. That's why I pulled out all the tractors and said, yeah. Well, there we go. 10 grand on sold bales right there, and our contract is complete. Now, I'm not going to collect the money on this contract just yet because I need to keep using this bale trailer to go get the last of those bales and deliver them here. I think there's only 5 or 6 more, but still. Figure 22 grand on the contract. We just made 10 grand on bales. And we'll probably make, what, another 5,000 or 6,000 on bales. Fingers crossed. So that will pay the 10% off that the bank is asking for, and we will still have money in the bank to use on the farm, but not much. And I did check the price of the sorghum recently, and it has dropped all the way down. It's below 1,300, and I know that will get up around 18 or 1,900. So I think I'm just going to set a price on that at 8. If it breaks 1800, I'm going to sell it. And of course, you fine folks will know exactly when that happens. I will let you know. It won't be today, I can assure you of that. I really should have put the Fent on this though, because, well, the Deutz-Fahr just doesn't quite have the power to get up this hill. Now it looks like maybe we've only got 3 bales left, so maybe we won't make quite as much as I thought we would have. We're gonna skirt the edges of this field though. There could be a bale or 2 hiding out there. Just to be safe. Because man, I was really knocking them around. You know, one thing that I found out recently about Italy that I think is interesting anyway is that, and it's interesting just because it's not something you would normally think of, but Italy is a big exporter of rice. They grow and export a lot of rice. You know, you normally think of rice coming from Asia and the Asian countries, but no, Italy grows quite a bit. Now, believe it or not, there's quite a bit of rice grown in the United States, in the southern states like Alabama, Louisiana, down in those areas. But yeah, Italy is a big rice producer in an area of Italy known as the Po Plain. Little bit of Italian trivia for you again today. Look at that. Alright, well, we'll sell off these last 3 bales, grab the money from our contract, pay the bank, and then we're going to have to see what else is out there because, well, like I said, we've got some money, but not much. And especially if we want to get those hogs going, those pigs going. I estimate the pigs to be about a minimum $400,000 investment. Yeah, if you think about it, with the land, because I need the land, I'm going to need a pig enclosure, and the Van Horns have insisted that it be a very nice, humane, pig-friendly enclosure. And then we're going to need some equipment to deal with those pigs, transporting them and whatnot, feeding them, making pig food. We're definitely going to be making some pig food. Lots of it. And another $2,000, so I think we are safe to go back and collect our contract. Contract complete, $22,707 minus the $1,262 lease cost for borrowing equipment. We gain $21,445. Very nice indeed. It's a nice harvesting contract on field 37. Very time consuming on field 31. Sowing corn on field 36. That's not bad. Would take a long time, I think. Soybeans on field 34. That's not bad. Now, believe it or not, Italy is a big grower of soybeans. And corn on field 35. Well, let's take care of the bank first. Well, that takes care of that. It certainly doesn't leave us much, but I don't think you really wanted to watch me click this button 50 times, did you? No, I didn't think so. But we're down to $2.25 million, but it only leaves us $14,362. Not much to work with, so that means we need to earn more cash. How are we going to do that? Well, it just so happens that I got a call from the port, and they know I'm working in the area now, and they have asked me to bring them a load of compost. And I told them that, well, I don't make compost. I don't have compost. And they said I could get some at the beet factory. If I would just pick it up at the beet factory and bring it over to them, they would pay me. So we're going to go look into that and see exactly what we can do to earn some funds from the compost at the beet factory. So at this point, I need to gather up my tractors. All right, let's grab our trailer. Hopefully this will be big enough for them. And let me look at my PDA and see exactly where is this. Oh, right there. It even says compost right on the PDA, so let's go see what we can do. Now I imagine I'm going to have to buy this compost. I don't know what it's going to cost. Hopefully not more than $14,000. This isn't an opportunity I don't think that's going to come up all the time. They just had a shortfall. Woo, I'm all over the place, aren't I? Where's my beacon? Oh, there it is, way out there. Okay, I think I see where we're going now. Yeah, apparently on the mainland, Italy, they really like their compost. And I know one thing that I've learned is that Italy really tries to maintain some organic agriculture. They're like a very high organic agriculture producer, so compost makes complete sense. Am I going to be able to slip under there? Oh yeah, no problem. So if I pull right in here, I can... Yep, I can fill up with compost here. It is costing me money. And how much does this trailer hold? 35,000, 38,000, something like that? And we're going to find out. I asked them how much they needed, and they said one trailer load would be plenty. So, it certainly doesn't fill quickly, though, does it? Will it keep filling if I get out? Maybe. You cannot see it pouring out, though. Yeah, it's still filling. Tripping over my own tongue. Have been for days. Maybe this trailer holds a little over 40,000. They just said they had a big order. They'd already shipped all that they had. And, asked if I could bring some over, so we're going to find out if this is worth my time or not. I think we're going to be able to pay for it, but man, it's not cheap, is it? For something that's made up of rotten corn stalks and grapevines. People's half-eaten Big Macs, half-eaten tortellini. This is Italy, after all. Let's see if we can swing. Oh. I did it wrong. I think I needed to swing back through there. There we go. That's better. Now, I think we know where the port is at this point. Maybe. Sorta. Ish. They don't keep their roads up very well here on Ischia. Look at the weeds just pushing right into the roads. And there's the port right in front of us. And I guess we'll have to go all the way around. How do you guys like roundabouts? They've become a big thing in the US all of a sudden. In the last 5 or 10 years, roundabouts have really just started to crop up everywhere. I know they've been big in Europe for a long time, but in the US there's a real love-hate relationship with them. People aren't used to them, so they find them frustrating and confusing, and I'm sure our European brethren would have plenty to say about that, and I'm sure our US brethren would have plenty to say as well. Well, what do you think? I'll be honest, I'm not a fan. I don't really see how they're all that beneficial as opposed to just a stoplight, but okay, here's our drop point. Let's see if this was worth our time. It's not going to be if I turn the tractor off. It's tipping. Oh, yeah, that's going to be worth our time. Look at that. Wow. $91,000 for that load of compost. Wow. Are you guys sure you don't need more? Really? Because I'll bring more. They don't need any more. Oh, well. That put a hitch in our giddy up, that's for sure. Wow, that is fantastic. Okay, we've got some breathing room again. But that doesn't change anything. We still need to bring in cash. Because we need to keep the farm running, as I've said, but I want to get those pigs going as soon as possible. I get back to the farm, and we will discuss exactly what the plan is. I think I've kind of filled you in for the most part on what my intent is there, but let's see, where do I go from here? I don't know. I'm lost again. I think I go right... Do I go... No? No, I need to be on the outskirts of the village. But this road doesn't go through, does it? Oh, I'll cut through the weeds if I have to. I don't want to run these people over. Alright, I think I have to cut through the weeds. And this will give me an opportunity to show you a little bit of something anyway. Sorry, I hope nobody's sleeping. It's late in the day. Here's our little road. So, one of my subscribers, Jonathan, was talking about the possibility of doing the animals, but doing them on this stretch of land just south of the farm. And there is a big section here that I own, but look at it. I mean, it's all cliffside. There's no room here to place anything. The cost would be massive to try to fill all that in to make room to put any kind of placeable there. So that's just not an option. And it's the same way, you know, I own this whole stretch right along here, but look at it. It's so steep. There's just nowhere to place anything. So, and that's hard to see. I know we were discussing that, looking at the PDA map and all of that jazz, but I just wanted to show you exactly why I really need to pick up more land to be able to get those pigs working for us. This is small enough to just flip around right here, though. Very good. This is a familiar scene. Probably going to be even more familiar by the time we're done. Field 34, which is right over here. Or we were just over there. It's a good big field. It's going to pay $7,600, and we can manage the equipment. So I'm going to accept that bad boy. And I'm going to go grab our harvester. And we're going to head for field 34. So I'll see you over there. Okay, so this is field 34. And man, that's a pretty darn good sized field, let me tell you. I think we're going to get a helper helping us out on this one so that I can run the soybeans. So let's see, what can we do? Yep, we want that. We want field 34. Hopefully this will work out for us. We want, well, let's do 4 headland passes, 13.5 meter working width. Oh yeah, it looks pretty darn good right there. So if I go back, drive course, jump out, I'm gonna grab the Fendt and the trailer. And I'm just gonna tail him for a little bit. Because, well, that's all he really needs. Actually, I'll set up my speed. So generally when you're running alongside a harvester, about a 6 is good. A speed of 6 anyway. Like so. It took me forever to be able to do this without bumping into the harvester or swinging out too wide. Yeah, it took me a while. When I first started playing, it really took me a while to master the ability to run beside a harvester like this. I don't know why. I just could not get a feel for it. I think once I discovered the power of cruise control, that made a big difference for me, as strange as that may sound. Now, for those of you who are new to the game, harvesting contracts can be very, very lucrative. The one thing you want to do is make sure that you get every bit of crop off the field, because you can complete the contract and crop will still be left on the field, and if you accept payment, then you lose out on all of that. So you want to make sure that every little bit has been harvested before you take payment for the contract, because the real money in a harvesting contract is not in the payment that they give you, it's in the crop that's left over. You can make sometimes twice as much. Twice as much from the crop left over as you do from the payment for the contract. Now, harvesting contracts do take a little bit of time. Bang for your buck, I would argue that fertilizing contracts are probably the best, but harvesting contracts are second best, easily second best. And what a lovely Italian day to be harvesting. A little bit hazy. The sun is shining over the trees though. Absolutely gorgeous. So I think I'm gonna work this harvesting contract and just let you guys sit back and enjoy some music. Be back in just a little bit. Outstanding. So I just finished clearing this field, checking out all the corners, because as we know, our helpers don't always clean up the corners properly. That's always a job that we have to do on our own, which is fine. And let's take a look at our contract and see where we stand. We are at 84% complete, and Enzo de Meglio would like us to take this product to the port. Wow, there's a common occurrence. So we will leave our harvester right here, and we'll take another trip over to the port. Now, I'm going to say this. It might be slightly controversial, which is fine. You know, everybody's entitled to their opinion, including me. And I guess the point I'm going to make is this is a large field, and we only got 25,000 liters of soybeans off of it. Now, I know soybeans are not generally a high volume crop, but that seems low even for a high volume or a low volume crop. And the only thing I can figure is old Enzo must be an organic farmer. And I'll tell you why I say that. And don't get me wrong, I'm not knocking organic farms. You know, if that's your thing, if that's what you believe in, if you think that provides better food, be my guest. I'm not a believer. I don't really see the difference, but again, that's just me. Obviously, I'm using chemical fertilizer on my crops, and I don't have an issue with that or with doing that. But while organic farms will find organic methods to fertilize crops, generally speaking, they are lower in productivity than chemical crops, chemical fertilized crops. Part of that is because they can't use lime on their fields. If you use lime on your field, then it would be considered non-organic. I mean, there's so many hoops that you have to jump through to be considered organic. The first of which is not using lime on your fields. And then you can't use chemical fertilizers. You have to find natural fertilizers, things like that. If you use like manure or slurry, it has to be from, oh wow, that was quick. Okay, and we made 9 grand. What is the price on soybean here right now? 3,084. Yeah, we're just going to sell it all off. Wow. I've never seen a price on soybeans that high before. Maybe that's the cash crop we should have gone in for. So right there, we made what, 22,000 just off of the soybeans, and the contract is only going to pay us another 7,600. Yeah, we'll take that all day long and twice on Sunday. Now, I am going to accept this $9,000 contract on field 37. But I'm not going to make you sit through it. I think you've seen enough contracts for today. But that margin call from the bank did not thwart us. Did not thwart us at all. Now, gosh, if it hadn't happened, we probably could have gotten our animals started today. But it did. And it is what it is. And clearly, we're going to make the best of it. So with that said, I'm going to go harvest this field of wheat. Give me practice for when our own crop comes in, which isn't too far away. But anyway, I think that's going to do it for this episode of Ischia Farm. I do appreciate you coming along for the ride, each and every one of you. If you found the episode enjoyable, entertaining, or educational in some way, do me a favor, remember to hit the like and subscribe buttons down below. And until next time, take care.